Hello there, this is Welsh ASMR 82. Hey, how you doing? And in this ASMR video we're going to look at some flags. I've looked at this book before with you, but oh gosh, it was 6 months ago maybe. And we definitely didn't look at the whole book. So, I'm just going to potter through it nice and gently, nice and slowly. Look at random countries and learn some facts. All very quiet and calm, so you can relax. And if you need to fall asleep, then you can do so. There'll be some tracing, some whispering, some soft-spoken, some looking at maps and flags, and general nerdy ASMR geography stuff. So, I hope you enjoy the video. Where should we start? Sticking my watch off because it makes too much noise. There we are. So, as a football fanatic, and you, oh sorry about the wind outside. I am in Wales in autumn, so nearly winter. And as a big football fan, I've got another football channel for ASMR, by the way, Welsh ASMR 82 football. I always find it weird when they say Asia, and you see certain countries that actually, in football terms, are classed as Europe. Some of them are Armenia, Azerbaijan, Cyprus, Georgia, Israel, Kazakhstan. But I suppose in terms of geographical reasons, they are properly classed as being Asian because they're on the Asian tectonic plate or something like that. Turkey should also be on this list, I think. Anyone else that qualifies in the European region? Yeah, Turkey is here. Technically, I think Uzbekistan could qualify as part of Europe. I forget. Kazakhstan only just about is allowed to. It's due to the fact that there's the sort of beginning of the Asian continent where the Ural Mountains are. And if you're along that line, see if I could find a map for you. Yeah, sort of like, it's not a very good one, but there's the Ural Mountains are just off site here. And because Kazakhstan sort of has a little bit jutting out there, it's allowed, as are the three countries down here, Georgia, you can just see the edge of Armenia and Azerbaijan. And of course Turkey is 90% Asia, but then this bit here qualifies it as being European. And similarly, Cyprus is here, but I guess it's on the sort of tectonic plate of Asia, but it is still is in the European Union after all. So they have the euro as well. And then Israel is down there, and it qualifies in Europe because no one in Asia, very few countries in Asia will, for very obvious political reasons, won't play against cool things about this map that I want to point out to you. This here is Russia. So you associate Russia with this bit. But in case you're unaware, this is an, what do we call it, enclave of Russia. And yeah, so technically, although Russia's there, it borders with Poland and Lithuania. And yeah, this is Russia. Other crazy things. Tiny countries. So if you think, if you're an American, and you're thinking they're all tiny countries, but they're the tiny, tiny country, so Luxembourg is a small country, but it's not, I don't think it's classed as a micro nation like Monaco, which is basically a city, and it's a country of its own. But I think it comes under the sort of control of France. Andorra is a couple of houses in the mountains, but technically it's a different country. Again, I think it might come under the remit of Spain, because it associates itself with Catalonia. Then you've got San Marino. Where's San Marino? That's wrong. It doesn't even have San Marino on the map. I think San Marino is like there-ish. Yeah, it comes under the remit of Italy for lots of things, and its first language is Italian, but it's so small it's not even on the map, look. And then the Vatican City, which is basically a couple of buildings in Rome, but because it's the Catholic Church at the centre of the Catholic world, I think it must have to, my assumption is that it must have to be a different country, because let's say for some crazy reason that would never happen, Italy declares itself, as a non-religious country, then that would mean that the Vatican would be a non-religious country too, so it has to be a different country for, I think, that sort of reason. And then Liechtenstein, which is a tiny country, is that? Yeah, it's marked. It's basically right on the border between Austria and Switzerland. Again, tiny German-speaking country there. Actually has God Save the King as its national anthem, but it's not related to Britain at all, it's just the same tune. And then Moldova, just on the river line there, has its own country, I suppose, Transnistria. There's the flag for it. Transnistria, capital Tiraspol in Moldova. I was reading about Somaliland yesterday, because that's what I do to chill out on a Friday evening, of course. But Somaliland is, let me get this right, is that bit of Somalia. And then Somalia is that bit. Anyway, it's not recognised by anyone. Not even Somalia. Well, definitely not Somalia. But yeah, so that's Somaliland. Hargeisa is the capital. Where's Hargeisa? Yeah, there we are. Hargeisa is the northern part of it. I think it stops there. And currently into the territory of Somalia. Another very interesting region is this one here. It's incredibly sparsely populated, and it's sort of called the Western Sahara. Democratic Republic, Sahrawi Arab, Democratic Republic, and it's sort of claimed by about 4 different countries. I think Mauritania claim a part of it, Morocco is currently in control, I think. think Spain may have been involved in the past as well, because Las Palmas, yeah, the Canary Islands are just here, and I think they sort of claimed this area. Really strange that such a large area is sort of fought over by a couple of other countries and not really a country of its own yet. But I need to do some more reading. I don't really understand why historically that is the case. One of the newest countries in Africa, of course, is South Sudan. So South Sudan broke away from Sudan about, it might be up to 10 years ago now, but maybe it was fewer. And you see, Sudan is already a very large country. Khartoum is the capital. For years growing up, I thought Khartoum was in Egypt because it was part of ancient Egypt. And I think there's a weird fact that in Sudan there are actually more pyramids than in Egypt itself. And the Nile would come down all the way past here and even further. Yes, Sudan and South Sudan. And of course Africa has been privy to much colonization from Europeans, detrimentally, one might say. And the two Portuguese, or two of the major Portuguese-speaking areas in Africa are here in Mozambique, on this coast, and Angola on this coast. Luanda is the capital of Angola. What's the capital of Mozambique? Maputo. So you can imagine the Portuguese setting sail from here, coming down. I think São Tomé e Príncipe is also a Portuguese colony, or was, excuse me. So you can see them stopping there, coming around, stopping there, and then heading off to India and Goa. I think used to be a Portuguese colony in India, and then they went around to Macau. See if I can show you a picture. So you can almost see their trade route in terms of the territories that they conquered. So yeah, so there's Africa down here-ish. They would have come up, and then Goa is like, where is it? It's around, it's on this coast. It's curious it's not there. It's around Bombay. It's around here, I think. So like there. I think they had something to do with Sri Lanka as well. And then, it's a bit tricky to get through there, isn't it? Well, they maybe would have gone this way. East Timor being a Portuguese-speaking colony as well. And then up and round. So just next to Hong Kong is Taipei. And Taipei was a Portuguese-speaking colony as well. Up until fairly recently it still belonged. I think it maybe 20-25 years ago it switched back to Chinese control just before Hong Kong did, from the British control, of course. So you can map out the Portuguese route. But you gotta admit, in Australia and Oceania, they do have, like, it is cool flag central, isn't it? So you got Kiribati, written Kiribati. Thanks to my subscribers for confirming that that's the pronunciation, Kiribati. One of the coolest flags in the world, I'd say. Marshall Islands is not far behind, it's pretty awesome. And I quite like Papua New Guinea as well. Is this a butterfly? this is what I was talking about, transcontinental countries. I think I did this in a previous video, but Turkey is across Asia and Europe. Egypt is across Africa and Asia. There's a slip of part of it which is on the sort of Asian side rather than African side. Armenia, Cyprus, Georgia and Azerbaijan are all Asia, Europe, as is Kazakhstan. Russia is so massive it goes across both continents. Greece, technically I think part of the islands, like where Cyprus is. Rhodes isn't far away, so technically if you include the islands of Greece, not the mainland, then it's transcontinental. Indonesia covers Asia and Oceania. Chile, South America and Antarctica. That's because of Tierra del Fuego, maybe. I'll take a look in a second. Panama, North America and South America. It's a curious one. Oh look, the states. Oh, and the state flags. Oh, I'll have to do a video on this. I didn't know I had the state flags in here. Oh. And I'm going to do a video about the United Kingdom. That's a really good explanation, actually. Okay, spoiler alert. Awesome book, isn't it? I think that was my tummy telling me to go and have some food. I shall oblige. Oops. Yeah, the Chile one is a weird one. Why is it Antarctica? Do they have an island? It must be to do with the island or something. It's North America. Because if you think about Chile, it runs down the length, the backbone of South America, and it does get to the bottom, but then it's only a couple of meters lower than Argentina. But maybe that classes as being in the Arctic Circle or something. Interesting. Does it say anything more here? No, it doesn't. I'm going to research that. If you know, obviously write a comment. Okay. Thanks so much for watching, and if you really enjoyed this video and you found it high value, then consider giving it a like and dropping a comment, which will help the video push out to a wider, newer audience for me. That'd be so kind of you, but only if you enjoyed it. I'll do another video soon using this book to look at the states, and I've been planning a video for ages in my head to explain what is the difference between Great Britain, the UK and England and the British Isles, because they're all similar but different. So this book will help me do that as well. Awesome. Okay. Take care everyone, and I'll see you again really soon, okay?